Hello everyone. Today I exercise, listen and repeat. Yes.
So the first thing I learned when I went to the monastery was to learn how the mind works.
So the first thing I learned when I went to the monastery was to learn how the mind works.
Because once you know how the mind works, you can control it, and once you can control it, you can.
Because when you know how the mind works, you can control it, and when you can control it,
You can focus it. You can't focus or concentrate something you don't understand.
you can focus it. You can focus and concentrate something you don't understand.
When people say to me, life is too busy, I can't simplify,
When people say to me, life is too busy, I can't simplify.
no, it's you don't want to. You have the choice. Nobody's
No, it's it you don't want to. You have the choice.
holding a gun to your head saying you have to associate with these people and you have to do these things. No.
Nobody holding a gun to your here saying you have to associate 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 with the people and you have to do the thing.
You choose to do that.
No, you choose to do the no, you choose to do them.
People say this to me all the time. You and I hang around with entrepreneurs and other people that you and I have met.
People say this to me all the time. You know, I hang around with entrepreneurs and other people like you and have met.
They've come up with Snapchat. You need to be on Snapchat. I'm like, I don't need to be on Snapchat. I don't care what comes.
They were come up with Snapchat. You need to be on Snapchat and lie I don't need to be on Snapchat. I don't care
Up tomorrow. I'm not going to do it
what comes up tomorrow. I'm not gonna do it
because I can't sustain it. Right? That's going to take a little bit more of my energy each day.
because I can't soften it right. That's gonna take a little bit more on my energy today.
And I only have this much energy, and I need to divide it between all the people and things that I love.
And I only have this much energy and I need to divide it between all the people and things that I love.
Right? Law of thermodynamics states you cannot create or destroy energy, but you can try.
The law of thermodynamics states you cannot create or destroy energy,
Transfer it from one thing to another or transform it from one thing to another.
but you can transfer it from one thing to another or transform it from one thing to another.
So I can't create more energy, I only have this much. Because come 11 o'clock tonight, I'll be exhausted and ready to sleep.
So I can't create more energy. I only have this much because at 11 o'clock tonight I will be exhausted and ready to sleep.
So I got this much 100%. I need to know where I'm dividing.
So I got this much 100%. I need to know where I am diving.
I always tell
giving.
entrepreneurs to look at energy the same way they look at money.
I always tell entrepreneurs to look at energy the same way they look at money.
It's a finite resource that needs to be wisely managed, wisely reallocated, and wisely invested.
It's a fight resource that needs to be wisely managed, wisely cost, and wisely invest.
The average person sleeps about 7 to 8 hours, to say, roughly, so we're awake for about 16 hours of the day.
The average person sleep about 7 to 8 hours to say roughly. So we wake for about 16 hours of the day.
Let's just say on average we're practicing it 13 hours a day, 7 days a week distraction.
Let's just say on average, average we practice it 13 hour a day, 7 day and 7 day a week distraction,
And then you wonder why you're so good at it.
and then you wonder why you are so good at it.
That's the law of practice. The law of practice is that we become good.
That's the law of practice. The law of practice is just become good, become good.
Good at whatever it is we practice. Whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't.
At whatever is we practice, whether it is positive or negative.
Matter. If you practice something over and over and over again,
It doesn't matter if you practice something over and over and over again.
you become really good at it. And that's why people are so good at distraction, because it's what they practice.
You become really good at it. And that's why people are good at distraction, because it's what they practice.
And then people say things like technology are great distractors, right? Smartphones. Oh, I have this thing.
And then people say things like technology are great distraction, right? uh, Smartphone, or I have a this thing.
So distracting, my smartphone, the internet.
So distracting, my smartphone, the internet.
Are they distractors? I'd like to say no.
Are they distractor? I'd like to say no.
First, and then yes. But mostly no. Technology in itself is not a bad thing. It's
First and then yes, but mostly no. Technology in itself is not a bad thing.
actually a beautiful thing, as long as we're in charge of it. But if every time your iPhone beeps,
It's actually a beautiful thing as long as we're in charge of it. But if every time your iPhone beep iPhone beeps,
or makes a sound and you turn to it and you go, "Yes, master, how can I serve you today?" Then you live in that world of distraction.
or makes a sound and you turn to it and you go, "Yes, master, how can I serve you today?" Then you light in the war of destruction.
It's training you to be distracted. But if you actually use technology,
You it's training you to be distracted. But if you actually use technology,
then technology is not a bad thing.
then technology is not a bad thing.
So, how do we become good at concentrating?
So how do we become good at concentrating?
We start by understanding the mind.
We start by understanding the mind. Mind.
Right? All of us have a mind. It's the most powerful tool in the world.
Right. On us have a mind. It's the most powerful tool in the world but the smartphone.
Smartphone, it's for machines that drive itself on Mars. So the
It's push machine that drive itself on Mars.
first thing I learned when I went to the monastery was to learn how the mind works.
So the first thing I learned when I went to the monasteries was to learn how the mind works.
Because once you know how the mind works, you can control it. And once you can control it, you can.
Because when you know how the mind works, you can control it, and when you can, you can control it.
Focus it. You can't focus or concentrate something you don't understand.
You can focus it. You can focus or constant something you don't understand.
So, how does the mind work? From the monk's perspective, from the monk's experience of the mind, that
There are two things that you need to understand. One is the awareness and one is the mind.
two things that you need to understand. One is there's awareness, and one is the mind. So, I'll take a few moments to explain this to you and share what they are. So, imagine awareness as a global.
So I'll take a few moments to explain this to you and share what they are. So you imagine awareness is a growing bones of things like an orb that I can pass around. Okay, so that's awareness now.
Glowing ball of light, like an orb that can float around. Okay, so that's awareness. Now imagine your mind as a vast space, vast area with many different sections within it. One area of the mind is anger, jealousy, food, sex, happiness, joy, signs, art.
Imagine your mind as a vast space, a vast area with many different sections. Within each one area of the mind is anger, jealousy, food, sex, happiness, joy, choice, as yes.
And this glowing ball of light called awareness can travel within the mind and it can go to any area of the mind it wants to go to.
And these growing balls of light cone are nest can travel within the mind and it can go to any area of the mind it want to.
And when it goes goes to a particular area of the mind, it lights up that area.
Go to, and when I goes to a particular edge of the mind, it light up just area.
When it lights up that area of the mind, you become conscious of it. And this is what happens all day. We are
When it light up that area of mind, you become conscious of it, and this is what happened all day.
allow people and things around us to take awareness from one area of the mind to another all day long.
We allow people and things around us to take your awareness from one area of the mind to another all day long.
From the time we wake up, and therefore we become distracted.
From the time we wake up and before we become distracted.
To be concentrated is to be able to keep your awareness on one thing for an extended period of time.
To be the concentrated is to be able to keep your awareness, awareness, awareness on one thing for an extended period of time.
How do we practice this? We practice this by doing one thing at a time throughout the day.
How do we practice this? We practice this doing We practice this by doing one thing at a time throughout the day.
What's the best way to develop concentration? The best way to develop concentration is to bring that practice into our everyday life.
What's the best way to develop concentration? The best way to develop concentration is to bring that practice into our everyday life.
Look at opportunities throughout your day. In your average day, ask yourself, what's a great opportunity to practice concentration?
Look at op- opportunity throughout your day. In your average day, ask yourself what's a great opportunity to practice concentration.
How many of you have a spouse or partner that you live with?
How many of you have a spouse, a partner that you like with?
Quite a few of you. Every time you speak with your spouse or your partner,
With a few of you, every time you speak with your spouse or your partner,
keep that ball of light, that awareness on that person. It drifts away, bring it back. It drifts away, bring it back.
keep that ball of light, that awareness on that person. Is drift away, bright is bright is drift away. Bring it back. The more you practice this, the more you become better at.
practice this, the more you become better at concentration.
Then
Give her or him your undivided attention.
master at concentration. Give her or him your undivided attention.
So if you speak to your spouse for 2 hours a day, what a
So if speak to your spouse for 2 hours a day,
great opportunity to practice concentration. Every time you speak with your child,
so if speak to your spouse for 2 hours a day, what a great of opportunity to practice concentration every time you speak with your children. Practice concentration.
practice concentration. Parents come up to me all the time and say, Dandapani, how can I teach my children to concentrate?
Practice concentration. Parents come up to me all the time and say, Dandapani, how can I teach my children to concentrate? Concentrate.
Very easy. You learn to concentrate first.
Very easy. You learn to concentrate first.
Now, there's an old saying that goes, monkey sees, monkey do. You know, and if you can't concentrate, you can't expect.
Now there is an old saying that goes, monkey see, monkey do, you know. And if you can't concentrate, you can expect your children to concentrate. And if you don't teach your children how to concentrate,
Your child to concentrate. And if you don't teach your children how to concentrate, how can they possibly learn how to concentrate? They can't. Benefits of concentration are endless. Right?
how can they possibly learn how to concentrate? They can. The benefits of concentration are endless, right?
When you're able to concentrate, you're able to focus all your energy into a single given point. Life is a manifestation of where your energy is flowing.
When you are able to concentrate, you are able to focus on your energy into a single given point. Life is a manifestation of where your energy is flowing.
And if you can't concentrate your energy, the things that you want to manifest in your life becomes very, very challenging. So learn to concentrate by doing one thing at a time. Bring this practice in.
And if you can concentrate your energy, the thing that you want to manifest in your life become very, very challenging. So learn to concentrate by doing one thing at a time. Bring this practice into everything that you do throughout the day.
To everything that you do throughout the day. Make it a part of your life. Practice, practice, practice. Keep bringing awareness back and keep it focused on one thing at a time.
So learn to concentrate by doing one thing at a time. Bring this practice into everything that you do throughout the day. Much is a part of your life. Practice, practice, the practice. Keep bringing awareness back and keep it focused on on one thing at a time. Thank you listening to me. Goodbye. See you again.